Hello, ladies. Congratulations. We've got the retelling of Cinderella. So exciting. Let's kick it off with Adina about why this is such a perfect modern spin on a timeless classic.
Oh gosh, I don't know if it's what's perfect. Let me say that again. I think we're really excited about the way that it revisits the iconic classic fairy tale, and that it's sort of breaking the social norms and the ideas of what a woman is in today's standard, and it's giving us a chance to be more inclusive, and it's very feminist, and it's pleased with having the casting situation I'm really proud of, with Camila and also Billy and a bunch of people in the cast.
Yep.
And so I love my characters gets to really she's not your typical archetype nemesis character, and so our approach to all the characters is to keep them really real in this fairy tale world.
Yeah, absolutely. I love that. I love the love. Camila, you posted on Instagram, get ready for a new kind of Cinderella. Honestly, this is the Cinderella I needed when I was growing up, as someone who was super ambitious, who didn't particularly care or think about Prince Charming coming, but like kind of wanted it eventually. How important was it for you to step into this new type of woman, one that's been around forever, but not necessarily on screen? And also, you said we are bringing your Latina princess. How are we bringing Latin culture to Ella this time around?
This is true. I think that this Cinderella is something that I needed when I was young too. I think it's like a whole spin on the whole kind of, the princess that's kind of like fragilized and waiting for somebody to save her. This is another princess we can look up to that is really, fighting for her happiness, which I think is like such a huge message. A huge message for everybody is like your happiness and fulfillment is in your hands, and nobody's going to fight for it or care about it as much as you do. And so, yeah, I think that I really needed this kind of story growing up too. And as far as the kind of Latin vibe, we do have a J-Lo song in there, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, nice. Okay, very cool. We can't talk about this movie without mentioning the Fab G. I just got to speak with Billy, and his performance is amazing. Just being around him in general, his energy is so contagious. What was it like for the two of you working with him?
Oh my God.
Well, I didn't get to actually.
Right. Technically, Camila.
I know Billy for a really long time. We've worked together on many other projects back in the Broadway community. So I know how magical he is, but she can speak to her actual experience.
Yeah, this is true. We were filming like my second week, I think, on the film. And he was just so like immediately disarming and real and vulnerable and affectionate and warm. And it was, so beautiful to see somebody that has this like huge presence and huge stage presence and personality and is so commanding and confident, but at the same time can make you feel just so, I don't know, like it can feel so like friendly and familiar and supportive. So it was just like, I'm so grateful to have met him, and hopefully, we're going to plan a dinner while we're all here.
I love it. I love it. And he's not the only one with these amazing looks. Let's talk about some of the looks that we get to see Ella go through. What I loved most was the suit moment. The fact that we worked a suit into this lineup. The fact that your character asks if the shoes can be more comfortable. I have never felt more seen. So how fun was it to get to play a modern Cinderella with all of these amazing modernized looks and incredible costumes?
It was really fun. The suit moment is definitely really funny. And I think that it's like, for example, like her last dress for that time period, girl's out here showing her knees and her legs. And so she in the movie is kind of like this fashion designer, and just in general, somebody who kind of like pushes boundaries and challenges things. So she's kind of a trailblazer all around.
Yeah, absolutely. And Adina, speaking to Camila's role and sort of embodying this modern day Ella, why do you think she makes the perfect Cinderella for the modern woman?
Because why are you laughing at that?
Because I love you.
Because I think she strikes this beautiful balance between being powerful and fearless and also remaining vulnerable and real and natural and willing to take risks and make mistakes. And she brought that to set and she brought that to the character. And
Mhm.
that's the kind of woman we all want to be.
Absolutely. And to that point about the kind of woman we all want to be, it's your self-confidence, especially at such an impressively young age, not to minimize, but when I was your age, I was nowhere near that point in my self-love journey. And with so many people admiring you and you know, kind of following in your footsteps for these young girls, especially, it's important to see. You posted on Instagram saying that being at war with your body is so last season. I'm curious to know, has self-love always been a thing that came easily to you? How did you get to a point where you were able to have that sort of radical acceptance?
Ooh, Radical Acceptance. That's a great book. Have you read that book by Tara Brach?
I'm not, no.
I haven't read it either, actually. But, yeah, I think that, it's complicated because I think that even throughout the movie, I struggled with a lot of self-doubt and fear and anxiety and insecurity. I think it's like an ongoing process. But I think that I try to, do a lot of work, and I love therapy, and I love a lot of practices that I think just help me. And a lot of people that I think like the biggest thing in this self-love journey is the most healing thing is vulnerability. And I think that, Idina, for example, also showed that to me in the movie, just like being vulnerable and being who you really are. I think that's the biggest form of self-love that you can have, because when you open up and you're like, oh, I'm nervous, I feel crazy today, I'm struggling with this or whatever, and people see you and support you and accept you, that is like the most validating, healing thing ever. And it's not something that's just happening in your own mind. It happens as a result of like connecting with other people. So I think that's like the biggest thing, is not even necessarily like achieving like self-love, but just being brave enough to show maybe some of the like more vulnerable or like great, like more neurotic things, like sharing them with people is actually the most healing thing.
Being really honest and transparent about that.
Yeah.
Well, so true and beautifully said. Ladies, congratulations on Cinderella. We will be tuned in. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you.